Hey there. Welcome to day 9 of 21 Days of Presence. How are you doing? I'm Adrienne Elise. So we've had a shift today. Venus moves into the sign of Gemini. So Venus is joining the sun, and Mercury has left the sign of Gemini, its home sign, and is. So it's an interesting shift because we had Mercury at home in Gemini and Venus at home in Taurus, and now they've both moved into the next sign. And this is indeed some of the energy we're working with right now as we have Mars coming into a conjunction with the North Node. And the North Node of the moon is our future karma. Where are we going? How are we going to get there? And Mars is particularly interested in this because Mars just wants to go. And Mars wants to accomplish. Mars wants to make change. And Mars wants to push ahead. And we have been continually coming up against, of course, the old patterns that are not letting us move into the new energies. So that's, again, the theme that's going on right now. And then Mars will be making this opposition with Saturn and then Pluto. So we're moving into this kind of intensity of astrology leading up to this solstice, to this June solstice. And we are being moved right into this energy. So of wanting so much of us wanting to move forward, and yet what structures are holding us back, what delusions are holding us back. And so with Mercury having moved into Cancer, it means that it has just made, and today we're feeling that a sextile with Uranus in Taurus. And Mercury in Cancer is bringing us a little bit more in touch with our emotions and how we feel. And because Mercury in Gemini, Mercury's ruler of Gemini, it's all about thoughts and concepts and ideas. It can be very busy in the mental sphere. And so Mercury in Cancer is kind of bringing us some introspection. And again, we're having just a little bit more of this breather, this break before we move into this intense June dynamic but magical astrology leading up to this solstice. So Mercury sextile Uranus. Now Uranus is in Taurus, and part of the big reason for this new energy trying to land on the planet. And so sextiles are very harmonious. So Mercury in Cancer, and so Mercury is Mars is coming up with the North Node right now, and Mercury will be coming up with the North Node along, just leading right up to before this solstice. And so with Mercury and Mars both in Cancer, we are feeling a little bit more emotional. We just had that moon opposite Jupiter, bringing up feelings of dissatisfaction in our life. And why can't we make our lives better, even though we've tried and tried and tried? And now we do know why. And we're coming up against some more clarity with that, with these structures, obstacles, and delusions, structures of our thoughts that are keeping us back in the dark ages, right? And it almost feels like that. I can relate to this. It's like throughout your day, because our relationship with time is changing so much, and it can feel like so much happened in one day. Like, was that really just this morning? Because in the Mayan calendar and a different relationship, more of a fourth and fifth dimensional relationship with time, it's more of a concentric circle, which means these circles and spirals, and they're kind of stacked on top of each other. So when you go through one cycle, like one day, you're also going through 1 year, and you're also going through 1 week and 1 month and 1 lifetime. And so we are having this very strange relationship to time, and it can feel like going back and forth from feeling, oh wait, I feel like I've all of a sudden broke through. Like, I feel lighter and freer, and those issues aren't dragging on me like before. almost like, wait a minute, okay, this is cool, I can do this. And then boom, something triggers you and you're back in the dark ages again, you know? And so it's hard to be in the present moment when you're being thrown back and forth between the distant past and the unknown future, right? And so really great energy today to just be present in all of this. But this shift of Mercury and Venus, it kind of is starting us into a new energy, but we're still feeling a little bit suspended here. And the main transit that we're feeling is that Mars coming up with a North Node, because Mars wants to go. In Cancer, it wants to just get over it already and heal and receive this nurturing. And the North Node says, yes, we got to do it. And Mars says, okay, let's do it. Of course, Mars is incredibly comfortable in Cancer. It's a watery, emotional, feminine sign. And Mars just wants to take action. So it's a kind of like a motorboat going in circles, just creating a whole bunch of waves. And that could be how our emotions feel right now. With Mercury and Mars in Cancer, our emotions are coming close to the surface, especially with all the Neptune transits and Pisces. And but this is good, right? Because if we can use our emotions, the power of our emotions, to move into this new territory, to face and examine and get real with what is holding us back, and maybe face and examine and get real with this dissatisfaction feeling that's just been kind of put aside for so long in our life, because you got to get up and do it again the next day, and you got to pay your bills, and you got to do your work, and you got to take care of all the things you need to take care of, and be all the things you need to be for everybody else, and those true deeper inner desires get set aside. And so Mercury and Mars in Cancer is highlighting this energy that for that life that we really want, for the world that we really want, the key, even though the creativity and that creation energy and that zest for life and the quest and all that, that's what it looks like. But the way we get there is through nurturing ourselves back into permission for being connected to Source. So let's go ahead and just tap into this energy here today of claiming the present moment, bringing ourselves back home, understanding that, yes, we're being flung around by the universe right now, but we can still claim, and that's part of the deal with these 21 days of presence, right? Make it an exercise to claim this deep sense of presence and peace, and then it's easier in those difficult moments in life to come right back here. And so let's do it right now. So just go ahead and arrive. And the cool thing about this, working as a group like this, is we're creating a field, and it's almost like a room that we can go to and re-experience these moments more easily, and kind of create an energetic field, even though we're all in different locations. On the astral plane, it's not like that. You can be bam right next to each other in an instant, and so we can use this field of energy of people working together for presence to quickly and easily find that presence in our daily life. And so let's go ahead and just sink into this now, reaching out that root system into Mother Earth. Just taking a few deep breaths and feel yourself arrive. There's always a feeling of like, oh, I'm going to get off this train for a minute, right? Life is crazy in this time that we live in. So much shifting happening, and so invisible. It's so inaccessible in our understanding of what's going on right now. We live in a world of delusion, in that we so much truth has been kept from us about who we are and what's really happening, and yet we're experiencing these crazy changes energetically and have no support or grasping or understanding our validation in this world for what's happening. So we've got to take that opportunity and do that for ourselves. And the most powerful validation that we can give ourselves right now is the present moment, where we come into this true essential self and know that that's what's real in all of this insanity. So just arriving right here, right now, taking a few deep breaths. And with each exhale, just putting this root system down deeper and deeper into the earth, saying hello to Mother Earth and how is she doing today? Just continuing your beautiful conversation, your opening to intimacy with our great mother representation in this world, our beautiful planet. And there's an interesting energy with all of this activity that's going on energetically, but a lull in activity in the physical world, or some sort of expansive, transitionary, in-between place. That's what these portals are like. And again, it has this invalidating effect on what we're feeling inside with all these energy changes. And that's kind of what's happening in the world too. It's like, oh no, there's nothing going on. Just same. Just gonna keep it the same. And those of us who are paying attention and can't help but pay attention can feel that, oh no, it's, something's going on. And that's because you can feel it, because you're being called to hold space. Just being here, being present, doing this exactly right here, right now. And so just feeling yourself arrive deeply into this communication with Mother Earth. Definitely seen a picture of all different types of timelines and experiences trying to communicate with each other. So maybe what we're experiencing on this astral plane and on this other level, just not integrated with our physical reality right now. And maybe that's that feeling like you have to jump in between. We're jumping and being thrown, right? Tossed around by the universe. But there's one place that's always stable. It's never changing. It's always been with you and is you from the beginning of time. And so let's just go right there to this kernel of peace that lives within you. And there is a great need, even though we're in the suspended feeling of not a lot happening astrologically, we're gearing up for a whole bunch of energies. And it's in a very important time to allow yourself to spiritually and emotionally rest. And this is something very difficult for these types of souls, because it's been lifetimes perhaps where you haven't been able to really feel safe and in a physical body actually rest. And so maybe this is part of the nurturing and part of the message coming through of the North Node in Cancer, is that until you guys can rest and arrive and come back to center, then how are we going to ever move into this new energy? And so let's go ahead and do this now with that Mercury in Cancer sextile Uranus. There's some energies, some messages here around how we integrate this new energy. And Mercury in Cancer is about resting the mind and allowing the mind to integrate with the emotions and ground out and slow down and become present. And so let's just go ahead and see yourself put everything aside, all of the cares and worries and issues and problems and list of things to do. Just set that all aside. It'll be there when you're done. We just do this for just 5 minutes. Just give yourself this moment of rest. Many of these souls were not able to rest on earth, but then also when you're killed, when you're on a big mission, spiritual mission, and then you may have been killed or something happened to you, your mission was not completed, these souls oftentimes will come right back to the planet without a spiritual rest. And so it creates an energy of a franticness, very much the Gemini energy of moving around, restlessness, got to go, got to do the next thing. And yet the universe and all of this Cancer energy is telling us we got to rest and nurture ourselves. And so go ahead and feel that feeling sinking into the earth. Gravity coming up to meet you. Feel yourself just stepping out of time and into the present moment, into this communication with the earth. And feel yourself just being called to lay down on the earth, maybe face down on the earth, just heart to heart with Mother Earth. You're going to have a heart to heart talk about this. Do you deserve to rest? Or do you have something to prove or escape or run from or accomplish in order to rest? This is where we get into trouble because we can't actually do what we're here to do unless we allow ourselves to rest and be nurtured. And so just give yourself over to Mother Earth, laying on her, holding her heart-to-heart connection, hugging the earth, and just go ahead and receive an energetic wave for electromagnetic reset to rest and peace. And just notice any sensations in your physical body where the fight or flight mechanism, the patterns from this life and other lifetimes flare up and say, oh, no, we're not resting. We've got to defend ourselves. We've got to watch out for enemies. We've got to be ready for the next trauma. Just taking a few deep breaths, just imagine this gentle breeze in the grasses around you as you lay on the earth, just blowing away all of these tensions and worries and cares. So you can come right here, right now. Just a child of the universe again, completely innocent and pure and cared for. And can you feel that there's this greater force, this incredible life force that holds all the planets in balance in this amazing dance? And yet we try to control and manipulate our environment when we have this incredible force, God force, moving and animating in our lives. And our highest self in alignment and allowing these energies, being in alignment with our highest self, allowing these energies to work and play and handle life. So we can take a rest. Somehow humans got the idea that it was up to them. To fix and figure out, when often solutions come when we get out of the way. So let's just imagine resting here, getting out of the way of your highest self, your highest ideal, and just allowing this energy to come in, using this rest to nurture your communication with your highest self and this deep trust in the greater forces of the universe. And just resting there, holding, loving, communicating with Mother Earth, breathing with Mother Earth. Imagine your soul group all laying flat on the earth, reaching their arms around the planet, connecting with each other and the earth, and together we increase our permission for this deep, peaceful rest. And just receive and allow. Go ahead and begin to complete your meditation, bringing with you this deep peace, this rest. We think that, well, we'll rest when we go to sleep or we'll rest when we die, right? But some of us haven't been able to. And so we need to practice this as a practice. And rest is different from sleep. Many people sleep and they don't really rest. So this is a universe telling us it's the most important thing in order to move forward in our evolution, personally and collectively. So just enjoying this deep peace, bringing it in, seeing yourself move through life in a more restful place. Just finally committing to allowing this for yourself, letting this Cancer energy work for you, and bringing this into your life. And when you're ready, go ahead and complete your meditation. Well, thank you so much for joining me for day 9 of 21 days of presence. That was a nice meditation. 9 is a completion number, coming to the end of a cycle before another cycle begins. And so really great energy of just kind of taking a breath and finding, sometimes until you really do something like this with collective energy and feel that deep peace at rest, you don't realize how far away you've been from that in your everyday life and how therapeutic that could be for our everyday lives. So thanks so much for joining, And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 10. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.